Why I don't do drugs. This seems like a little bit of an off-topic subject, considering that we talk about fitness, weight loss, and habits here. But I think that this is actually maybe one of the deepest videos I've ever done. And I think the reason for that is this is so much deeper than just why people do drugs. I mean, I've seen my best friend commit suicide. There was also a lot of drug use in his past history. And I see a lot of people easily turn to drugs, and you can define drug in a bunch of different ways. But today I want to share a little bit about some of my life philosophy and where I think drugs enter the picture and why some people get derailed by them, other people don't, and what this all has to do with habits and being fit and being successful. So really, when we talk about drugs, when I talk about drugs, I mean I am anti taking shortcuts. I don't take painkillers for headaches or muscle pain or pain. In fact, I've only taken painkillers like even Tylenol and aspirin less than 5 or 10 times in my entire life, at least my adult life, past the age of 16 or 15. So really in 15 years, I've only had them, I've never even owned a bottle of aspirin or Tylenol. And my reasoning for that is that a lot of us, when things hit the fan, when crap is not going well, we just choose what's easy versus what's right. Because my fundamental life philosophy is that it's way easier to go home and have a drink, or go home and smoke a bowl, or go watch TV until your brain is dead, or stuff your face with sweets. It's easier for me to do that than it is to deal with the shit going on in my life. It's a lot easier. Like, look at what people do in relationships. When we get rejected or when things aren't going well, nothing pushes people more into that depressive substance abuse mindset than relationships with people. It could be friendships, it could be relationship with your mom or dad, it could be my relationship with whatever girl I'm dating. But I've noticed that nothing in my own life or in that of many of my friends can push me or them into a depression or a substance abuse state than when things aren't going well. Way more than health, way more than personal stuff going on, way more than career and finances and all that stuff. And so what I've realized is that so many of us, when things aren't going well, the first thing we do is we drink, or we have to smoke weed, or maybe at another level people take painkillers, they take oxys. It could be TV, it could be food. But the whole time what's going on is, let's just say the relationship hasn't ended. You're arguing with your partner, whoever it is, and there's a lot of fear because you think this person means a lot to me, I don't know where this is going to go, I don't know what's going on, and you don't want to deal with that right now, right? That's the origin of substance abuse. We don't want to deal with whatever we are feeling inside. I don't want to deal with what I'm feeling inside. I'm going to have 2 gin tonics or 3 glasses of wine and then sit down and watch Netflix. I don't want to deal with how I'm feeling, the fear of losing this person, the sadness of them saying something horrible to me that I'm going to remember forever, the discomfort of having a conversation, and maybe, guess what? Maybe both of us are actually self-medicating because we don't want to have that conversation. And so we go on, we play like, very surface levels, very superficial. No one stirs anything up. It's all very placid, right? The scariest thing is when the water is so still. It's the scariest thing because people aren't expressing or dealing with what's in their soul. And I think the reason why this is such a big thing to me, why I'm so anti against using substances to sleep, to deal with moods, to deal with energy, any of that, is because you're doing the fundamental opposite of what your body and what your soul need. Your body is telling you something's wrong. Something feels weird. I don't know what this is, but I feel different. I feel weird. And what's the first thing we do? The body's giving you the symptom. Just like an illness, every illness is a gift. It is giving you a symptom of something that's not working right? I have a lot of personal experience with this. But what we can do is, if we've got the headache, we can pop the pain pill. If we've got the emotional headache, the relationship headache, we can drink or not even breach that conversation that's uncomfortable. Keep a superficial relationship. It can be friend or romantic. And yet, when the body's giving us the clearest signs, what do most of us do? We have a couple drinks. We don't have the conversation. We do anything to deal with the emotion, which is the exact resolution that's just sitting there for us. So for me, I see this a lot in relationships because obviously relationships are emotionally charged. They can cause a lot of damage or they can cause a lot of good. That's the primary reason I'm against drugs or any kind of substance to deal with my emotions. The second thing for me in my own life is that I don't do this because it's easier than doing what's right. It's choosing what's easy versus what's right. It's choosing to eat the donut versus going to the gym. It's choosing to not have the conversation with the guy or the girl and just keep it very, very unemotional. Keep it not tense because you don't want to deal with it. Or stuff's not going well at your job, so you just come back, have the drink. You go out 4 or 5 days a week, you don't deal with the emotions, the stress, the fear, the hatred of your job, wanting to change. You just don't deal with it. It's easier to live that kind of life, but it is not going to create a better life. Like the things that have made the biggest difference in my life have been the things that were scary and not necessarily hard, but that were scary. The things I had to be the bravest. Those were the most difficult things. The bravest things are quitting the job when there's no security or following your passion to do something you care about. The scariest things are really liking a person, but knowing that this is not going to end well and you guys are not right for each other and then ending it. Or having a close friend that's become poisonous and toxic and you having to get them out of your life. Or some other goal that's so scary and so big and is going to take you so long to achieve that like any normal, rational, logical person would say you're stupid for doing that. But those courageous choices, those very things are the exact things that have made my life how incredible it is now. And if I did what was easy instead of what was right and what was brave, I wouldn't have had a fraction of the stuff I have now. Not even in a material sense. The fact that I've built my life holistically into such a cool thing, I never would have had any of it. And I think the tendency is, once we get in the habit of choosing what's easy, the pill, avoiding the conversation, having the drink, smoking the bowl, once we get into the habit of doing what's easy versus what's right, what's the growth move, what's going to actually advance you, it continues to be a habit. So guess what? When problems come up again, which they always will, when they come up in your work life, in your relationships, something going on with your happiness or your health, you just flip the avoidance trigger, right? Don't like that? Avoid it. Gaining 30 pounds? Stop stepping on the scale. Get acid reflux? That's all right. Just keep drinking the coffee. Spending too much money? Got $4,000 in debt? Just keep swiping the card. The bank account looks the same, right? You don't even see the debt. That habit of doing what's easy rather than doing what's right, what's the growth move, becomes incredibly easy to keep doing. And I see it causing more damage all the time, 100% of the time, because it's unconscious. And it comes back to this third idea that our life, the results, the fruit we see is almost like a symptom of an illness, right? When there are no symptoms, at least on one level, there's no illness. There's no imbalance going on in the body. If your bills are unpaid on time and you're happy, you're in a healthy relationship, you like what you do, those are all symptoms. And since there are none, everything's good, you're probably dealing with your stuff and you're not avoiding them. But if you're noticing that, hey, my weight's not where it should be, I'm not happy, my financial life is crap, I hate my job, I'm with this person, I don't know if I want to be with this person, maybe you're avoiding the actual emotions that are supposed to guide you exactly to where you want to be. They're the exact things, like all of us have an inner GPS. This is channeling Martha Beck. All of us have an inner GPS that show us what we want. And if a person turns off the inner GPS with alcohol or drugs or any kind of sedative, then you have no wonder people feel lost because we turn off the GPS. You can turn off the GPS with, what work do I care about? Because you're fighting with your heart and your mind. Your mind always chooses the high-paying job and you wonder why you're always miserable. You can turn off your heart in dating because of the damage that's been done, right? This person, this guy or girl seems like a good person. Like they've got that. All this psychoanalysis rather than doing the one thing that actually matters is feeling and then also layering rational analysis, right? It's opening up and keeping that intuitive muscle, that intuitive instinct going. Because that's the body's designed to heal itself on every level. It's not designed to destroy itself with drugs or emotional avoidance. It's designed to show you exactly what it wants. When it's hungry, it wants to eat. When you need to poo, it tells you when to poo. When you're tired, it tells you when to sleep. When you like a person, it shows you when you like them. And when you distrust a person, there's a feeling that you can't explain. Maybe you can explain. And the very act of the habit of dulling the senses is doing exactly that, is turning off the intuition. Because we're afraid of the emotions there. We don't want to deal with them. So this is kind of something a little bit different than I normally talk about, but it's incredibly important. And I don't want people to be like, yeah, drugs are bad for you, or you're uncool if you do drugs. What I'm saying is there's a much deeper level that's a little bit more conscious than me just being like drugs are bad. I'm not saying you should or should not do drugs. I'm saying the way you use life as a drug can and absolutely will impact the direction you go in every aspect of your life. So before you guys go, I want you to comment there below. Let me know for you, like, be real honest and vulnerable if you want. Let me know for you, what aspect of your life do you most often dull with blank drug of choice? Let me know below. Hey guys, it's Alex. I hope you liked this video. Now before you go, the best way to stay in touch is to grab my free guide, 5 Daily Habits to help you lose your next 20 to 30 pounds on my site. Click that monk through to subscribe, watch the last videos that just came out, and if you like this tiny daily habits approach to both losing weight, getting fit, and having more success in your life, check out my book Master the Day, either in the description or on Amazon. And if you send me your receipt to alexander@modernhealthmonk.com, I'll send you a 2-hour bonus video course for free.